Well, all right, folks, it is officially the morning after the Bama loss. Of course, everyone's still celebrating. Um, that's not an Alabama fan. 34-24, the final score. Texas took a 3-0 lead at the end of the first, outscored Bama 10-6 in the second. Alabama did outscore Texas in the third and shut them out and led 16-13 going into the fourth quarter. But that fourth quarter, unfortunately, Ewers and Texas outscored Alabama 21-8. You look at Quinn Ewers, what he was able to do. He was 24 39, 38, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, compared to Jalen Milroe, 14-27 for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. In the run game, you had Brooks. I don't really know his name. Let me see here. Jonathan Brooks. Okay. 14 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. There was Jace McClellan for Alabama, 12 carries for 45 yards. The lead receiver for each team, you had Sanders, 5 receptions for 114 yards. Kobe Prentice, 5 receptions, 68 yards. Basically, you could see from the stats that this was a game Texas wanted to win. This was a game Alabama, I'm sure, wanted to win. Nick Saban now has lost to a assistant 3 times. Jimbo Fisher being the first, Kirby getting him in a national championship, and now Sarkisian on the road. Who's the best of those? Y'all can debate that. People say it's Kirby because he's gone back to back. I don't know. Is Texas that team in 2023? Are they going to build off this game? Or is it just another upset? For me personally, I wish Sark nothing but the best. I want to see them have great success. I want to see them build off of it. And I hope it's not just another upset in college football. Because we see this all the time. Week 1 or week 2, within the first month in September, we see an upset. And it turns into a domino effect of this team going on a run. Or we see an upset, and what you think is going to be 15-0 national champions ends up going 8-4, 9-3, and they underachieve just a little bit than what we expect, right? I was surprised at this game a little bit. Like, I had picked Texas to win. I think I said 28-24 or 28-23. So I was off by like 1 point for Alabama. And Texas got an extra 6 points out of this game than what I had predicted for them. Burt Auburn, 22-yard field goal in the first. Will Reichard exchanged that at the start of the second. 42 yards on a 12-play drive. Xavier Worthy, very explosive. One of the best receivers. Definitely, I would say, in the Big 12. Not SEC yet. Horns. But definitely in the Big 12, Xavier Worthy is one of the best out there. 44 yards from Quinn Ewers. Just kind of threw it up, and the placement on that play was spot on. Then they get a field goal. They go up by 10, 13-3. Alabama kicks a 30-yard field goal, hits a 51 after halftime. The lead is 13-6 at the half. Alabama was shut out in the first quarter. They shut out Texas in the third, 10-0. But the fourth quarter alone, watch what happens. Texas goes up 21-8. And it was a great fourth quarter to watch. Alabama, lone touchdown tonight. First off, their touchdown in the third quarter was a 49-yard pass to Jermaine Burton from Jalen Milroe. Amari Black has a 39-yarder from Jalen Milroe. Found Isaiah Bond for a 2-point conversion. Adonai Mitchell, who was a Georgia transfer. A.D. Mitchell, you probably know him by that name. He gets a 39-yard pass from Quinn Ewers. Burt Auburn gets the kick on a 7-play drive, 75 yards, in just under 3 minutes. That pretty much sealed the game. What happened at the end of the game, there was plenty of time for Alabama to try to come back, but penalties cost them. Quarterback play, receivers not catching, the offensive line faltered. It just didn't look like what it did against Middle Tennessee State. And I said, this is going to be the game. This Texas game is going to prove if Jalen Milroe is the quarterback for Alabama or not. And I'm sorry to say it, like I don't want to be mean. I don't want to cut him off early, but he's probably not the guy. We probably next week against USF on the road, which, God forbid we lose that game. I keep saying we. I know I'm working as a journalist. I've just always been like this as an Alabama fan and someone in the state of Alabama. But Alabama, them, they need to clean up a lot of penalties and mistakes and miscues and errors before they travel to South Florida. And by all means, if you lose that game, it is over. USF could turn around, bounce back, be a good team this year. I don't know. They're pretty good at home. I doubt Alabama's going to lose that game. They might have some trouble a little bit, but I think they'll get the victory. We'll do Tidal Wave Talk next Friday. We'll talk about it. We'll talk more about this loss. But my overall thoughts are Texas could be that team in 2023. They need to build off of this win. They need to build off this success. They learned from their mistakes last year, and they did even better this year against Alabama. Last year, Alabama won by a field goal, 20-19, on the road in Austin. This year, it's Texas returning the favor. It's Sarkisian and Quinn Ewers going to Tuscaloosa, winning by 10 points. That's huge. It snaps Alabama's home win streak. They had not lost at home since 2019. Joe Burrow and LSU came in there in November. What was it, like the 3rd or 2nd? And they came in and won 46-41. So that was the last time. They had lost by 5 at home. This time they lose by 10 at home, which I don't remember the last time that actually happened, because it's always been a one-possession game when Alabama loses at home. It can be multiple possessions on the road, by 10, 14 points. This time at home, though, that's like the biggest loss at home for Alabama in the Nick Saban era, because even like that ULM loss back in 2007, I think, was only like 4 or 5 points. But, point being that Texas came in and they wanted this game. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They had guys in the box. They got pressure on Jalen Milroe. They were able to get an interception. They got 2 interceptions. And they both, pretty much, I think, both of them turned into touchdowns. I know one did. Yeah, it was just one of those games. You look at the team stats for this game, too, by the way, and you'll see that Alabama shot themselves in the foot here. 23 first downs for Texas, 18 for Alabama. 5 of 14 on third down for Alabama, 7 of 18 for Texas. 2 of 3 on fourth downs. Alabama was able to convert their lone fourth down conversion. More yards passing. The only thing that Alabama led in, really, in yardage was the rushing yards. And they only led by 2, 107 and 105. Off 35 attempts for Alabama, they got 3 yards a rush. 37 rushing attempts for Texas, they got 2.8. 10 penalties for Alabama. 10. Nick Saban hates penalties. Preaches on it a lot. Too many mental errors, too many miscues, miscommunication, right? 4 for Texas. Now, I'm sure those are some moments that Sark would like to have back. Maybe it could have turned out a little different. Maybe they scored more points. I don't know. No turnovers for Texas in this game. Defense for Alabama, what we thought was going to be the best all year, got shook. Right? Forget hook 'em. Texas shook them in Tuscaloosa. Fumbles lost, none for either team, but 2 interceptions for Alabama. And Texas was able to hold on to time of possession, 32 minutes and 31 seconds. 27 minutes for Alabama, 29 seconds. So the first downs, the turnovers, the yards, and the time of possession, all 4 of those Texas led in, and it ultimately resulted in a victory. When you win those categories, you're going to win a big football game. You're just going to. So I credit Texas for this win. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm not even surprised. I think 10 points is reasonable. I think Texas was just a better team. They're going to jump up in the top 5 somewhere. They're going to have to. Alabama will fall. Maybe stay in the top 10. Maybe they fall to Texas' spot at 11, just outside the top 10. Alabama, job's not done. Learn from your mistakes. Win out. Win the SEC. Surprisingly do that. And you could win a championship this year. You just got to fix your mistakes. And you got to find the right quarterback. I swear, man, I love Jalen Miller with a passion. I think he's a great athlete, but he made too many mistakes in this game when the pressure's on him to the point you just know he's not the guy. I don't know if it's Tyler Buchner. I don't know if it's Ty Simpson. Nick Saban did say Tyler Buchner is QB2. Maybe you give him a shot on the road next week against South Florida. They're going to make a ball game. They're going to win over 6 games. They're probably going to win 10 at least. Minimum, maybe 9 at this point. If the team they saw last night keeps going, the team they saw against Texas keeps going, right? They're winning 9 games only, and that's it. So, I don't know. But that's the game, folks. 34-24, your final score. Texas over Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Prime time last night. Texas makes a statement. And I'm actually excited for this not preseason, but AP poll to be released. We had all the games yesterday and Friday, and I think a couple Thursday games. We don't have any Sunday games today, so we should be able to get the poll out. And we'll see where exactly the press, Associated Press, thinks these teams should be. I love y'all. I'm always going to be an Alabama fan. Congrats to Texas. Love Sarkisian. Loved his game plan. He came in with such confidence that they were going to win this game on the road in a tough environment, one of the toughest in the SEC, and they pull it off. So, hats off to you. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck going forward. And we can confidently say y'all are ready for the SEC in 2024. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. Ballard Sports Media, check it out. I love y'all. Peace out.